Okay, let's get started on part 3 of a little painting. I was gonna start down here with a little water, but let's say we get a little brave. We got our black. Like I say, if when you want stuff in the distance, you want it to be a little bit darker, and those hills, mountains, whatever you want to call them, they're looking kind of nice. But mountains and stuff aren't only up and down and left or right. There's also could be rain. So what we want to do is dip the brush a little bit in there, a little wet, and we're gonna kind of put some black kind of in the background to kind of make it look like they go out a little bit. So we don't want to do the whole thing. So let's be a little brave. This brush is maybe a little bit too big actually. Where's one of my little detaily? Hello. Let's start with using this little guy here. This has a very small little brush on there, so you kind of get in here and let's just get a little bit in the trace it around a little bit. A little bit too much water on the brush, but you just kind of put something like back there a little bit. Like I say, don't be scared to paint over what you've already painted. Let's give a little more character coming down this way. And it's okay if it's a little bit faded because it's supposed to be kind of far in the back there, far in the background. So let's just do this at a couple little places here. Let's kind of come in here and this stuff like this just kind of gives it a little bit of a nice little added whatever's to it. Let's have one kind of go off the side of the edge here, because let's kind of go in here, bring up. It's perfectly okay if you paint over a little bit of what you already painted. Like I say, you're going to be doing that a lot actually. And getting a little bit brave here. A little bit and let's get just a little bit of a peak right here. There we go. How about something coming in between here? Okay, this is nice. Okay, I hope you Girl Scouts are paying attention here. So let's just take shake up the white nice and good. Just take a little white. Say just a little bit. We're gonna be using the white a little bit later for water, but we just want to put just a little bit on for right now. And just kind of maybe tap a little snow on here. These mountains are really high, so there's maybe a little bit of snow up top. And just a little bit. Like I say, you want the darker stuff in the background, but it's okay to put little snow caps or whatever on these. Why not? Yeah. You may ask how come there's no snow caps on these. Maybe these other mountains are so far back. They're so much taller, but you can't really tell because they're way more far away too. So notice how when I do this, I start talking like Bob Ross. Start doing that whisper talking, because I don't want to wake up any of the bears who lives in this mountain. It could be a little.
There's no bears.
Shh! Don't wake them up. Just a little bit there. Let's go ahead and just put a little up over here. This is further west. Maybe it didn't snow quite as much in the west. I don't know. I don't know where's these peaks at. In California. And yes, it does snow in California. I've been to California. Believe me, it snows. It snows even worse than it does here. I remember I was in Salt Lake City, and that city is basically in what used to be a lake surrounded. It is so beautiful. Everywhere you look, you are literally surrounded by mountains like this. Just imagine this. You're like in a pin, and the whole city looks like this. The problem is, I never seen it snow as bad as I seen it there. I swear to you, those snowflakes were the size of baseballs, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it was just wow. So why don't we
You're waking the bears.
waking the bears? So why don't we already got some blue down here, and a lot of times the water, reflects the sky. It's kind of the same color. So why don't we take some of our blue? Take a little blue, not too much. Let's get that same brush we'll be using, and let's mix a little black in here. Let's mix with a little black, just to darken up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's put a little more blue in here. Let's use a little bit lighter blue. Kind of lighten this up. This might make it lighter than originally started. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. But it's not the bluish blue, but let's see what happens. So let's go around these mountains here. Add a little. No, that's not. Well, that's certainly not blue. Okay, and that's the way painting goes. Is you're not gonna always get it right the first time. Let's see what happens when I put this on here. Actually, okay, it's kind of nice. It's not the bluest blue in the world, but give our little area here a nice little. You just kind of go around the mountains a little bit. Those mountains, whatever these are. You don't want it to be perfectly straight because let's add some more blue. Usually goes a little easier than this. Maybe that's nice blue. So let's just keep going. We'll come back up there. Maybe we'll keep it like that. I don't know. Kind of looks all right like that. Kind of looks a little bit like a wave splashing against the. I don't know what do you think, Keelan? It looks all right. Kind of painted over a similar color that's already on here. It's okay if you paint over what's already there. It's This like just little light touches, just trying to blend the paint a little bit. And like I say when it dries, you can see these mountains here. When it dries, I kind of like that. The white is kind of up against the. Just see, but and if this turns out that it's not water, it might. I mean, that happens a lot when you paint too. At least when I do it is quite often when I set out to paint. Isn't what actually, okay, got a little glue on there. But there's a lot of patience to this, and there's a lot of practice and embracing your failure, and you don't want to give up. And it's okay if the water's several different colors. You have a look out to see it. You're gonna see it's blue and maybe even orange from the sun reflection, red. It could be white because of the waves. It's going to be a lot of so experiment around, see what works for you. Boy, I'm just sounding more and more like Bob Ross doing this, and I think even a lot of parents are like, who's Bob Ross? And I don't know if they were around in the. A lot of them might not have been around in the 80s when he was on PBS. Hold on, I just got kind of interested. Kind of much darker. That's okay. That's okay. kind of a weird little mixture on my pellet here. And let's get some of this blue just kind of on its own over here. And there we go. Like I said, don't wash. You don't have to wash the brush off. Just when you're done, you definitely want to. But in the process, it's it's kind of cool. We got like a little inlet here. That's fine. Let's keep doing what we're doing. If you cover up a little bit, even if you see like a little bit of the land through the water, that's okay because that's happens in real life. And besides, they just say it's your world. And when you do the water like this, it's kind of a point. You don't want to come too far out. It's just like I always make the mountains too big. And don't forget the sides too. I always tend to, those mountains are a lot bigger than. I tend to do that, but it's coming out alright. But you don't want to come out too far with the water. Because it might not look like a lot, but when we start putting in trees, and other indications, that water is going to look like it's a lot farther out than it does right now. It's all a process, and this. I'm kind of liking how this is turning on all the weird little different colors. And this paintbrush I'm using is just a standard artist brush. I honestly, aside from the fan brush, I really don't know what the different names of these brushes are. And I know I got this weird little. It's kind of like a fan brush, but it has like parts of the fan are more extended. And they say it's supposed to be used for this, but I actually use it to for leaves and stuff because like I say, I'm such a painting rebel. It's like you can't tell me how to use these paintbrushes. I'm gonna do whatever I want. So we can come off the painting here. The mountains could kind of continue on there. Let's maybe have the water come out a little bit here. Why not? There we go. You can see. When you do like dab like that, you don't want, like I say, if you brush it, that's another technique you could use if you want like more still water. You could take a dry brush, kind of lightly brush over it, and you can that kind of stills the water a little bit, so it doesn't look like rapids. You want to kind of go in the same direction because it's, and like I say, honestly, I don't know. Is this a lake? Is this a river? Is this just and my thing, and you always ask me what is it? My blanket answer generally is whatever you see is what it is. If you think this is a lake, that's great. If you think it's a river, whatever. And I took a cruise in the Mississippi River back in I want to say 2005 or somewhere in there. It might have been even 2003, I think, actually. And I was amazed how at some points that river was so wide you couldn't see shore on either side. I mean, that sucker, nothing. You find out why they call it the mighty Mississippi. That was something else. So we got some water, but let's give a little character. So let's take a little bit of white. Let's take a little bit of the white. Let's get a little movement in the water. We don't want. We want a little bit of waves. So take your trusty little fan brush. If you bought that kit from Michael's kit with like the 20 of them, there'll be a couple fan brushes in there. Let's put a little bit on here, just like in almost the same way we did the sky the other day. Just kind of, dab some on. And when you do this, it it kind of makes the it gives the river a little, it doesn't just look flat. It gives it a little bit of hold the fan brush kind of in, like you're flowing with the water. So it doesn't matter if these are waves kind of crashing in, wherever they're going to crash in, or if they're river current. I'm gonna take this sucker right here, this round thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna slightly, ever so, barely touch it, almost like we did the up there, kind of a similar technique. Let's just barely, kind of move this white around, and it gives it a little, it gives it like the river a little depth, a little depth, and why not with just one little more step here? Where is do we have? How about this stuff? We got apple tart green. Why not just put a little apple tart on there, just a little bit. Where did I put my fan brush? Oh boy. Here's a fan brush. This one's, I think, is a little different. I'm only going to put some on like half the thing. You don't have to use the whole brush. And again, I'm just going to tap a little color in there. Just, might be a little algae running in the water, fish pee. Oh, hang on, I'm a girl's color. Am I supposed to swap fish pee in the water? Ew, I know, I can hear y'all right now. Ew, yeah, I heard every one of you, especially Ellison. Ew, fish pee. Fish has to pee too, Birds don't for some reason. Birds do not pee. How am I got on animal leaving themselves, I'm not sure. Let's take that off. Let's do the same thing with the, let's take this brush this time actually. Just kind of lightly, gently smear it around a little bit. Just so we get like a little. Let's take, where's that brush that we were started with? Yeah, let's take this one. It's relatively dry and kind of get a little detail in there. Move some of this green around a little bit. Let's see, just put a little tap of blue on here. Got a little bit too much green, so let's get a little blue in here. Let's kind of mix up the current a little bit. So apparently it's turning into a river. Isn't that special? And for those of you who are too young to get that reference, that's the church lady, Dana Carvey, in the 90s, I think, had a character on Saturday Night Live called the Church Lady. And it was kind of a funny character, and two catchphrases is, I remember one was like, isn't it special? It was kind of a sarcastic way that, Dana Carvey was a man, and still is, I guess, he's still alive. And he would dress up as like a church deaconess or something. It was kind of a funny bit. Isn't that special? And the devil made you do it, maybe, or I don't know. Just get a little more blue on here. This is the time you can experiment around a little bit. Like I say again, when this dries, it'll look a little bit different than it does right now, and you could always go back and retouch. I mean, there's been times I've done almost half a painting like this. I ended up painting over almost everything you see just because the painting started going like a different direction, and that happens. I don't know how this is going. Let's get some more white on here. Got some white and green on this brush here. I guess you just kind of touch it up, see what it's your world. I'm kind of, a lot of this what I'm doing at the bottom here is gonna eventually turn into shoreline. So a lot of the well, not a lot, but this bottom part here isn't, it's gonna be whatever we decide to make the shore, whether it's grass or dirt or sand. It's, if I go with beige sand by chance, and you want to do brown dirt, you want to do grass, and do dirt or grass. It's your paint. It's whatever you want it to do. But yeah, this is gonna need a little touching up here and there. But so we got our. You can see like not a mountain. You can even see it's starting to dry. So you're there. Look a little more in the distance, a little less. So whatever you see. Keenan's looking so bored right now.
I'm
Thank you. But yeah, my dinner's about ready too. So I'll post this, and obviously, if you're watching this and you know I posted it, Dory. So hopefully we'll probably get back. Hopefully in May. I have no idea, but till then, take care. We will see you later.